Doing our campaign 2016 coverage now. I'm with our resident political analyst and host of Local 12 Newsmakers, Dan Hurley. Dan, you watched the debate as we all did in the newsroom, but did you get what you thought you were going to get tonight?
Well, we got what I think we were prepared for based on what we've seen up till this point. I didn't see a lot different. We just put the two people together. They were now in the same room on the same stage talking with each other. Rob, it's really important to remember that this is mostly for the people who either have said they haven't made up their mind or people who have said that they're voting for one of the third parties. And since neither third party this year has the same sort of oomph that a Ross Perot does, usually those kinds of votes go away. So I think those are holding patterns. So it's mostly for the undecided at this point. And one of the things I think we want to look at is on foreign policy, because I think something very interesting was revealed here.
Words matter. Words matter when you run for president, and they really matter when you are president. And I want to reassure our allies in Japan and South Korea and elsewhere that we have mutual defense treaties and we will honor them. It is essential that America's word be good.
And as far as Japan is concerned, I want to help all of our allies. But we are losing billions and billions of dollars. We cannot be the policeman of the world. We cannot protect countries all over the world where they're not paying us what we need.
We have just a few final questions.
She doesn't say that because she's got no business ability. We need heart. We need a lot of things, but you have to have some basic ability. And sadly, she doesn't have that.
Well, what you see there is that Hillary Clinton is the person who's sort of in the mainstream of the last 50 years of foreign policy, and Donald Trump is calling for real change. That could be good or bad for Hillary Clinton. There's another question here that came up very soon, and that was the question of stamina.
You have so many different things you have to be able to do, and I don't believe that Hillary has the stamina.
Well, as soon as he travels to 112 countries and negotiates a peace deal, a ceasefire, a release of dissidents, an opening of new opportunities in nations around the world, or even spends 11 hours testifying in front of a congressional committee, he can talk to me about stamina.
I actually thought that was one of her better concrete responses rather than just throwing back and forth some of the same things we've heard in other situations.
So you say that tonight they need to talk to the undecideds, but do you think tonight created any changes in the undecideds vote?
We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what happens to the polls. But remember, a lot of people don't pay attention to elections at all until after Labor Day.
And there's two more of these, right?
Yeah, two more of these. And even though we think people have been paying attention all year, that's not true. This is the beginning of the real thing.
All right, it's begun. It felt real tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, it felt real.
It sure did. We'll have much more analysis at local12.com and tomorrow on Good Morning Cincinnati starting at 4:25. Election Day 43 days away. Make sure to stick with Local 12 for the most complete campaign coverage right up until Election Day, which is November 8th. Cammie?